Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video will be on tutorial on basic body for adult styles, that we're going into basic bodies. And without wasting so much time, let's get into the video. And for today's tutorial, I'll be using my ruler, my pattern master, my tape, my marker, and then my paper for the marking. You can as well mark directly on your fabric if you want, but the reason for marking on the paper is so that if there's any mistake, you can easily correct it. So the first thing I did is to mark a straight line to serve as our shoulder line or our starting point, whichever you choose to call it. And then the next thing I'm going to do is to mark our horizontal measurement, and this I'm going to be marking 10 inches for my bust point. I'll be marking 16 inches for my half length, and then 23 inches for the full length of the top or blouse, whichever you want to call it. So this is more like a basic sleeve that will extend towards your hip. So I just marked the line across so that it will be more visible for you guys. And the next thing I did is to mark 2 inches upward from my bust point to this will be our chest line. And once I am done with that, the next thing I did is to mark half of my shoulder measurement. My shoulder measurement is 15 inches, so half of it is 7.5. So I made a point there, and then I'm going to connect it straight to meet my chest line. And once I am done with that, I'm going to go ahead and mark my neck width, which is at 3 inches. This is more like a basic neck width. And for the length of it, I am marking at 4 inches, and then I'll connect it just a round neck for the purpose of this style, but if you can change your neckline as you want. Then once I am done with that, I'm going to go ahead and insert my bust measurement divided by 4, and I will make a point there. And then I'm going down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope at that my shoulder point that I marked, and then I'll connect it to my neckline. Once I am done with it, I'm going to measure this point and this point to measure it, and whatever I have there, I will divide it into 2. And I'm going to go ahead and make a point there. And this measurement I took is at that line, or that armhole line that we went down. So at that point, I'm going to go in by 0.5 inches. Then I'll connect these 3 points that I just pointed at for our armhole. That's for my shoulder slope, the 0.5 inches we went in, and then our bust measurement that we made a point at. So this is our armhole. The next thing I'm going to do is to label the paper so that you guys can see what we have. So this is our chest, bust, waist, and then the hem of the blouse. The next thing I'm doing is to take half of my nipple to nipple measurement. So my nipple to nipple measurement is 8 inches, so I am marking 4 inches. If you are going to mark directly on your fabric, please go ahead and mark 4.5, or just add half inch to your own, so that by the time you stitch it, it's going to arrive at that your nipple to nipple measurement. So at our waistline, I am marking 1 inch at both sides of the dart, and then I'm going up from the hem or from the hip line by 2 inches, and then from the bust I'm going down by 1 inch, and then I'm going to go ahead and connect this point that I just made. That's from the bust to the waist, and then to the 2 inches we marked up from the hip. I hope you understand this. Just look at the video, you will see what I am marking. So this is it, and this is basically a a basic dart that we have for our blouse. So the next thing I'm going to do is to insert our measurement. Since I've already taken my bust measurement, I will go ahead and take my waist measurement divided by 4. I'll measure the dart and replace it, and then I'll do the same thing for the hem or for the hip. I'm going to add all allowances on the process of transferring to our fabric. But if you're marking directly on your fabric, please at this point insert your all your allowance, your stitching allowance, your dart allowance, every allowance that is supposed to be in it. Please go ahead and replace them or add them. So this is it, basically the basic body pattern for an adult. And sometimes I make use of my armhole dart, of my bust dart, side dart, so I decided to insert it from my bust line. I went down by 2 inches and I'll connect it to my bust line. So that's basically it for my bust point, for my bust that side bust, sorry. And I'm going to go ahead and replace it, because if you do not, by the time you finish, you're done stitching, you find out that that side is shorter. So I'm going to go ahead and replace this dart at my hemline, and then connect it to, and then slant it to connect it to our bodies. You can as well connect this line straight, and by the time you are done with everything, you can now trim off the excess, or you can just connect it the way I did. By the time you stitch it down, it's going to go up. And that's basically all for the front pattern of this basic bodice tutorial. If you are enjoying this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do well to hit on the subscribe button and join the growing family. And then for our back bodies, we are going to go ahead and replace and make all the markings that we did for the front. That's the chest line, the bust line, the waist, and the hip or the hem, whichever you want to call it. The same marking we did for the front. That's why the same thing is what I'm marking for the back. But we have 1 or 2 differences for the back, and which I'm going to slow the video down when we get to where I want to explain the difference. But every other thing is the same. So for the back neckline, the width is the same as the front, which is 3 inches, and then the length of the neck length is 1.5 inches, or the neck depth is 1.5 inches. And then for the armhole, if you look at it, you'll notice that the 0.5 inches we went in, we did not do that for our armhole. It's just our normal armhole. And then I'll go ahead and mark the dart just like we did for the front. I will connect the line, and I also mark the dart as well. I'm going up as well for from the hem. I'm going up as well. So for the dart, if you notice, our back dart started from our bust. I didn't go down by 1 inch like we did for the front. It started from the back. So that's basically the difference. I'm going to go ahead and insert all my measurement as well. Remember to replace your dart. Do not make the mistake of leaving your dart without replacing it. And I'm going to go ahead and cut out the back piece, just like we cut out the front one. So this is our back piece, and then this is our front piece. You can notice I did not add the zipper allowance. Please, while transferring to your fabric, remember to add your zipper allowance to the back, or you can attach it to the paper while drafting. So if you want to use this as your half length that we want to attach to the skirt, all you have to do is to trim off from your waistline out, just like you will see me do. Once I trim it out, you notice that what I'm just showing you guys is to remember to add your allowances all around your stitching every other side. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut this out. Remember, this is a basic bodice that extends towards the hip, that's why it's this long. But if it's one that you have to attach your skirt, this is our basic bodice. Does it make sense now? Yes. And that's basically all. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up to this channel and join us, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.